Hello my friends, Gary Goers and fellow poets, welcome back to the channel. Today's video we are going to be looking at Tupac Shakur's The Rose That Grew From Concrete. It's his poetry book. Make sure you stay till the end if you want to hear me read my 3 favourite poems from the book, but also before that, don't forget to hit like, subscribe and leave me a cheeky comment down below on your thoughts about this collection if you've read it or not. So without any further ado, let's get into the video. So as always with these videos, fair warning, I like to review the book as a whole, not just the poetry inside it. So if you're just here for the poems or the poetry, you might want to skip further ahead. But if you want to know about the whole book, including the cover, the blurb, the formatting, stuff like that, then just keep on watching. So to begin with, the cover, I think it's a really nice, what more do you want? It's a great photo of Tupac. It's got his name here. It's also got his hand. I don't know if that's his handwriting. It may very well be. That might even be his signature, judging by some of the pages in here, but that's getting ahead of ourselves to the formatting section. We're not going to do that just yet. The blurb looks like this. It's pretty, it's pretty standard. His talent was unbounded, a raw force that commanded attention and respect. His death was tragic, a violent homage to the power of his voice. His legacy is indomitable, remaining vibrant and alive. Here now are Tupac Shakur's most honest and intimate thoughts conveyed through the pure art of poetry, a mirror into his enigmatic life and its many contradictions. Written in his own hand at the age of 19, so he was very young. He died very young, but well, he was murdered very young. But written at the age of 19, they embrace his spirit, his energy, and his ultimate message of hope. Tupac Shakur recorded 12 landmark albums, 9 of which went platinum or gold. A consummate actor, he also appeared in 6 major films, that I did not know, including Poetic Justice and Gridlocked. He was murdered at the age of 25. Published by Pocket Books, which is attached to Simon & Schuster. Copyright the estate of Tupac Shakur. Introduction copyright Layla Steinberg. Forward copyright Nikki Giovanni. This edition first published by Pocket Books, an imprint of Simon & Schuster. The right of Tupac Shakur to be identified as the author of this work has been asserted. Blah 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 blah. By the way, if you want to hear me read the introduction and the foreword, which I won't do in this video, do please consider becoming a channel member, only if you can. For $4.99 you can become a Gary Goer and get exclusive videos and early access, so members would have already seen this video. Members have already allowed us to get a stream deck for our streams and stuff like that, so it all gets reimbursed into growing the channel and making better content. So if you want a little bit of exclusivity, but whilst really helping me, you can do that, and I would really appreciate it. Okay, let's move on to formatting. What I really love about this, and I've seen it before, we've seen it before as a channel in other collections, on the left hand side, on this side, there is a scan of his handwriting, him writing it by hand, and then on the other side you have it typed out and formally formatted. I think it's really nice. If I remember rightly, I think Lana Del Rey, Violet Bent Over Backwards Over the Grass, something like that, has scans of the typewriter, and I think it even does have some handwritten stuff. And I believe Bella Thorne, I've forgotten how to talk in this video, Bella Thorne's book has it as well. I think it's a really nice touch. It feels really intimate, so I think if you can do that, I think it's probably worth doing it for your own collections. Otherwise, in terms of formatting, it's just, your Garamond or Times style font, heading in big, poem underneath, and really that's all it needs, I guess. Every now and then there's a photo. It's sort of in categories, so I guess a photo introduces each category. If you want to know what those categories are, watch the members exclusive, I guess, where I do a more in-depth look at it. In terms of the shape of the book, that might be a hard cut because I made a mistake and now I can't remember what I was actually talking about, but I somehow got onto the shape of the book. It's almost like a coffee table book square. It's not hardback, it's not, I wouldn't say it's a coffee table book, but it isn't your usual sort of 6 by whatever it is, your sort of rectangle. It's almost a square. I think it's nice. It's a break from, you know, the industry standard anyway. But otherwise, in terms of formatting, there's not too much else to say. Okay, so we have come to the poetry section, discussing the actual poetry that's in here. But first, I want to read you 3 of the poems. I'm going to start with my favourite, and it closes the piece, and I can see why it closes. I say piece, I mean the book, and I can see why it closes the book. Very poignant, and next to it is a picture of Tupac, and it says Tupac Amaru Shakur, 1971 to 1996. In the event of my demise, dedicated to those curious. In the event of my demise, when my heart can beat no more, I hope I die for a principle, or a belief that I had lived for. I will die before my time, because I feel the shadow's depth. So much I wanted to accomplish before I reached my death. I have come to grips with the possibility and wiped the last tear from my eyes. I loved all who were positive in the event of my demise. Okay, next poem is the second to last poem. So I say goodbye. I'm going into this not knowing what I'll find, but I've decided to follow my heart and abandon my mind. And if there be pain, I know that at least I gave my all, and it is better to have loved and lost than to not love at all. In the morning I may wake to smile or maybe to cry, but first to those of my past I must say goodbye. The rose that grew from concrete. The rose that grew from concrete. Autobiographical. Did you hear about the rose that grew from a crack in the concrete? Proving nature's laws wrong, it learned to walk without having feet. Funny it seems, but keeping its dreams, it learned to breathe fresh air. Long live the rose that grew from concrete when no one else even cared. Okay, so let's discuss the poetry. Right, it's really, really important to know about Tupac and his background and where he came from and stuff, to really be able to discuss and appreciate the poetry. Therefore, because I know very little, I'm going to quickly read a brief history. Tupac Amaru Shakur was born Laysan Parish Crooks in Brooklyn, New York on June 16, 1971. His mother was Afeni Shakur, a Black Panther activist, and his name was changed when he was a year old. Tupac grew up in poverty in Harlem and was involved in a troubled childhood. His family moved around a lot and he spent time in Baltimore and Marin City, California. He was a talented student at the Baltimore School for the Arts, but his family moved before he could graduate. Tupac began his career as a backup dancer and roadie for Digital Underground in 1990. He became a leading figure in 90s gangster rap, and his lyrics often addressed social issues. He sold more than 75 million records worldwide, making him one of the best-selling artists of all time. He was also nominated for 6 Grammys. Tupac was shot and killed in a drive-by shooting in Las Vegas, Nevada on September 13, 1996. His death remains one of hip-hop's most enduring mysteries. Tupac has become an icon symbolising noble struggle. His life was marked by danger, a lack of trust in authority, and a commitment to fighting injustice. And a lot of those themes are in this book too. But the reason I wanted to read out his background and why I think it's important to keep in mind is his childhood and where he grew up, and he grew up in poverty. So he didn't study poetics at Harvard is what I'm trying to say. And that, naturally, as well as being 19 years old, is reflected in a lot of this book. But those 3 poems I just read out, I think, and he was a musician too, I think goes to show that he had a very natural inclination to meter, even line breaks, even enjambment. So, I mean, there's clearly some sort of knowledge of poetics, or at least, as I say, a very natural instinct for it. I couldn't tell you whether he studied poetics or not. There is some moving stuff in here. So what I'm trying to say is, don't buy this book expecting the most technically perfect poetry. However, there are some profound stuff, and it's very human, and if you're a fan of Tupac, then why wouldn't you have this book on your shelf? Do I think it's worth having this book as a poet? Yeah, I think so. I think all poets should strive to have a library of books that are as various as possible, and obviously this Tupac is iconic. Tupac comes from a generation where, in my opinion anyway, you know, the golden generation of hip-hop and rap, where it actually meant something. It was actually standing up against something, rather than, you know, the same lyric repeated over and over again about... I'm not going to put that in the video. Anyway, I'm not going to go into that. So, poets, get an insight into a legend's mind at just 19 years old. And until next time, don't forget to hit that like button. Don't forget to leave a comment. If you've read this book, what did you think? And if you'd like a deeper delve into this book, and you can afford it, please do consider becoming a channel member. I'm about to read a few more poems from the book and the intro and foreword. And yeah, until next time, my name's Adam Gary. That hurt. See ya.